Okay, so the question is, how does the setting tell us about the character of Miss Havisham? So let's have a little bit of a read aloud and a think aloud as we go. For such reasons, I was very glad when 10 o'clock came and we started for Miss Havisham's, though I was not at all at my ease regarding the manner in which I should acquit myself under that lady's roof. Within a quarter of an hour we came to Miss Havisham's house, which was of old brick and dismal, and had a great many iron bars to it. Some of the windows had been walled up. Of those that remained, all the lower were rustily barred. Okay, so I'm getting a first understanding of the setting here. It sounds as though things have been left to decay a little bit. The word dismal is definitely a negative descriptor, and iron bars suggest that whoever lives inside the house is scared of the outside, or maybe something bad has happened to that person. There was a courtyard in front that was barred, so we had to wait after ringing the bell until someone should come to open it. While we waited at the gate, I peeped in. Even then, Mr. Pumblechook said, "And 14?" But I pretended not to hear him, and saw that at the side of the house there was a large brewery. No brewing was going on in it, and none seemed to have gone on for a long, long time. Okay, so this is an older time period, and that would suggest to me that maybe there are no people working on this estate. And also it seems like a large place if it has outbuildings like that. So maybe that suggests some wealth as well. So fast forwarding down to the bottom there, now we're inside. It was then that I began to understand that everything in the room had stopped, like a watch and a clock, a long time ago. I noticed that Miss Havisham put down the jewel exactly on the spot from which she had taken it up. As Estella dealt the cards, I glanced at the dressing table again, and saw that the shoe upon it, once white, now yellow, had never been worn. Okay, hold on a second. Who never wears a shoe, just leaves it in one place, and everything has stopped like a watch and a clock, and you're picking up a jewel and putting it down exactly where you got it from? That seems to suggest that this person has done this over and over the same way. I'm reading on. I glanced down at the foot from which the shoe was absent, and saw that the silk stocking on it, once white, now yellow, again the same kind of imagery, had been trodden ragged. Okay, so she's not even bothering to put on the shoe. She's just going around with one shoe on. Without this arrest of everything, this standing still of all the pale decayed objects, not even the withered bridal dress on the collapsed form could have looked so grave-like close, or the long veil so like a shroud. Okay, so I'm kind of getting some overlap here between the objects and how Miss Havisham is dressed. She seems really connected to her surroundings and in an old, strange way. What kind of person lives like this is a question that I'm getting. And also, if you're just letting everything around you stay exactly the same and you've got the same dress on forever, it's going to suggest some maybe mental health issues to me. So she sat, corpse-like, as we played at cards, the frillings and trimmings on her bridal dress looking like earthly paper. I knew nothing then of the discoveries that are occasionally made of bodies buried in ancient times, which fall to powder in the moment of being distinctly seen. But I have often thought since that she must have looked as if the admission of natural light of day would have struck her to dust. Okay, so again I get this overlap of the room being dark. There's no natural light in it. And if there were, she might just fall apart. So I'm definitely taking that to mean that this is a really fragile person. So taking a step back and looking at all of this together, I am wondering about this person's mental state, why they seem stuck in a place and time and haven't done anything to take care of their surroundings, and how they just go on from day to day in general. So definitely a lot of questions, but starts to build that character for me. I'm also left reflecting on how rooms tell a lot about the people who inhabit them. And I think of different rooms in my own house. The room I'm sitting in now, our office, which is mainly my husband's domain and has a lot of things that belong to him that are interesting to him, like his stamps and his CDs and music posters and photographs. So just make a mental note. A lot of times settings are meant to tell us about characters.